Hello. Good morning. It is 9:49 a.m. Eastern Time, and this is DD Live. I am DD. That's my name now. No, it's just a short form. My name is David. But we have a good show today. I have a good show today. So, Alberta, talk about that. What happened there? Deep dive on Alberta. And there is so much that, I could spend probably 6, 7, 8 hours on Alberta. I'm not going to for the sake of all of us, but I will address some of the things, some of the issues and things that have been said in the past by the individual that won, or I shouldn't say the individual, the party that won. And then some other stuff. So Marianne Williamson on Mehdi Hassan's show, which I have not yet watched, so we will watch that together. And Ted Cruz goes woke. Hmm? Hmm? You'll see. All right. So what's going on, people? I like seeing the active chat here. Tyler Hackner, active in the chat, was very angry with me this morning. At least that's how it appeared. Because he's like, the first comment I get on this live stream from Tyler, again? Question mark. He's bothered because there are other morning shows that are more important than mine. That's fine, Tyler. You can go watch those morning shows. Go watch, Morning Joe. We all know you're a big Morning Joe fan. So go watch that. But I'll be here when you decide that it's better in this chat. But regardless, I'm not sure how regular this thing is going to be. I did a stream yesterday morning. I'm doing one now. My plan is 2 to 3 times a week, maybe Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then, cut some clips from these live streams. If there's any big news that happens on a Thursday or Friday, I'll do those on those days. But I don't know. I'm enjoying the morning live stream, so I will do this for now. And I'm somehow prepping these stories early in the morning. I don't know how I did it, but I prepped this Alberta one, and it's a big one. Crystal says, I love watching you at this time. Fantastic. UC says, you do you. I rather like the spontaneous streams. That's it's very tough for me to be consistent in terms of a time and a day and a place. I don't like feeling strapped down to any schedule, which has likely hurt me in many ways and my ability to, get more of a support base or viewer base on YouTube. But I'm too independent to feel like I'm strapped to any kind of timeline. It's just not, I can't do it. But for now, this is working out. And I like getting this out in the morning. It gets a lot of my work done early so I can use the rest of the day to edit out clips and, do my normal stuff that is not streaming. But all right. A lot of active people in the chat. Great. Okay, so I'm going to start with Alberta. I'm not sure how long this will be, but it's I don't want to say too much till I actually start, because if I make any point now, I want it to be in the actual video. All right. So the province of Alberta in Canada, in case you didn't know, has re-elected a majority conservative government, or more specifically, a united conservative party majority. So this is, I guess, to be expected, considering Alberta is often seen as Canada's Texas. That said, the leader of the Conservative Party, of the UCP, is incredibly stupid. So it doesn't help the situation. Let me first start by showing you the results here. So I'm going to get to comments around healthcare, around workers' rights, around some other stuff. I'll get to a clip from CBC News, shows a bit of the speech, the victory speech and all that. But first here, these are the results. So Alberta re-elects UCP majority government. Here they are with 49 elected seats and NDP at 38. The NDP, the New Democratic Party, is in Alberta very conservative. So, if you're not a Canadian, you may not completely understand this, but the provincial parties are separate from the federal parties, the national parties. So the NDP in Alberta is not the same as Trudeau's, or I should say, not Trudeau's, it's not the same as Jagmeet Singh's NDP. Much like the Liberal Party in Alberta or another province isn't the same as Trudeau's Liberal Party. So they are very separate. And I'll get to that here, because the Beaverton has a great headline here. Election day, Alberta decides between a traditional conservative government and whatever the hell the UCP is. Joking that both are conservatives, because the NDP, and this is true, the polls are open as Alberta voters consider whether to elect a right-wing party devoted to low taxes and substantial governmental support for fossil fuel industry, the NDP, or to re-elect a party that can't talk about vaccines without mentioning he who shall not be named. So, yeah, to have an even further right-wing party than not only your NDP here, but your traditional conservative party is, I guess, what is to be expected when it comes to Alberta. But first, a bit on the NDP, just quickly here. This gives you an idea of kind of where some of their focus is. This is one of their campaign promises. Alberta NDP will eliminate taxes for most small businesses. This is what I don't understand about this strategy. If you are someone who is a conservative voter, you are concerned about this, you're concerned about, you care about the oil industry. Trudeau's oil and gas policy is too harsh for Rachel Notley. Rachel Notley is the NDP leader in Alberta. So if you're, and by the way, Trudeau's oil and gas policy is nowhere near where they should be. So if you are concerned about helping the oil and gas industry, and not about workers' rights, because that's not what this discussion is about. We're talking about just massive corporations in oil and gas. If you're concerned about that, if you're concerned about low taxes for businesses, why would you vote for the NDP over your conservative option? As someone who is, if you're running to be an alternative vote, a different choice, you should maybe differentiate yourself from conservatives. This is the same kind of tactic that is used a lot in the US with a lot of Democrats who try to be the Republican light candidate as opposed to differentiating themselves as an actual left-wing candidate. And they end up losing, because why would a conservative vote for a Democrat over an actual Republican? Same problem here. So that isn't to say their whole platform is this way, but when you have these sorts of attempts to reach out, especially to the oil and gas industry, I just don't see who are you winning over? What voters that are going to vote on this issue? Why would they vote for you over the conservatives? It doesn't make any sense. But you also have this. This is from Ricochet, another great resource, Canadian resource. Is an Airbnb lobbyist running Alberta NDP's election campaign. So, all these corporate ties to oil and gas, you can't expect to get a lot of people out to vote for you if you're just going to be the conservative light option. And from what I'm seeing from the results, turnout was around 50%, if not a little less, meaning that to elect a majority UCP government, you had about 26% of people in the actual province vote for government. 26% of people, approximately, elected a majority government. This system's messed up. That's, part of the issue there with first past the post as opposed to any real electoral system, but that's a whole separate discussion. I also just want to show you that, NDP did have other issues they cared about, so they didn't want to invest more into healthcare.